One of the things that I have been really trying to work on, as I've talked about on this channel so far, is trying to figure out how to want to write. And I think I finally figured it out. And I might have mentioned it earlier, but it was a theory of like work on it like first thing in the morning. But also I don't have exact goals. Like I can have a vague idea, like an ideal sometimes, but really I think just having a set time to work on my books every day, well, my work days, it seems to be really helping. So basically what I've been doing is, for the past week or so, I have been taking time every like work day where I will spend about an hour on my books. And that's it. And there's been some days, you know, when I did like the formatting day, that's like a whole day. Ain't nothing else getting done. But when it's down to just normal routine things, not the end product of I hate it so much, I really don't like formatting, cover design, that crap. I hate it so much. I like writing. That's what I like to do. And doing that, just even then I was struggling, and I think having my goal in mind of like, no matter what, I just have to keep working towards it, and I can have lofty goals, and if I get to them, great. But it's much like I talked about in my workout video that I just did. It's, you know, I have my realistic goal, and then I have my ideal goal. Ideal goal for writing right now is publishing pretty much monthly. Like, you know, it's a little insane, but like also kind of not. Like, again, if I want to hit my publishing goals, actually make money doing this, that is kind of my reality right now. I think eventually I could taper it back, but I'm not at that stage in my career. I am in the really a lot of work for not that much payback. I mean, it's better for the first month in quite a few, like my Patreon money was better. It was over $25, still under 30, but you know what? It almost paid for the proof copy I just ordered. I actually paid more for the proof than I got from Patreon, but that's fine. You know, we're getting there. So thankfully I just kind of leave that account set aside, so hopefully I have a little bit of a cushion, maybe. I don't check it as often as I probably should. Right now in my career is really just the time of a lot of work that hopefully in the future I can tone back. Like, I don't really mind this channel too much. It's still really fun and new, and just, it doesn't feel like that much work to sit down and ramble. But, you know, my other channel, the one that I actually make money from, tiny bit, hopefully, maybe I hit the new level in it, because yesterday I checked and supposedly I made like $2, which is more than I normally get. Normally it's under $1. And so I was like, oh my god. So maybe. One time I did have it jump like $20 for a couple days, and then it just disappeared. So I don't completely trust it. And so we'll see how that ends up working out. But it would be cool if I started to make more than $1 a day. That'd be awesome. But at the rate I'm going, I do have to post every single day. If I miss days, my money does go down. And it's taking a lot to rebuild from the algorithm of taking like December off. And so like I can't technically take time away. So I have to get content ahead if I don't want to be actively working for a set amount of time. I have to have content going up so you don't notice the absence, which is a bummer. But you know, compare that to a normal job, it's not a bad problem to have. I just have to do it, and I'm fine with that. And like this channel, I don't have any of the things. I think I have enough uploads to count now, but I don't have the subscriber amount that I need, and I also don't have the watch hours. So this is just like for funsies. So if you're seeing ads right now, I didn't put them there. It's just for fun. I have YouTube Premium, so I actually have no idea when you see ads. But yeah, so I am really in my crunch time of my career of like so much work, so much hustle, do everything all of the time. And with the hope that at some point I could pull back a little, you know, maybe only have like 3 to 4 uploads a week, Patreon maybe like a once a week situation or something, because a lot of people only do like a once a week Patreon, but I'm over here at 3 trying to make it worth the while. Sometimes 4, depends on the week. And so trying to fit in writing has been hard, and trying to publish as much as I want to, because again, that's the thing, is it's like, it's mostly just to try to get the monies because that's the thing, is you know, life is not long and I have things I would like to get going. You know, I'm gonna be 30 this year, and honestly, I'd kind of hoped by this point doing this stuff full time, going on 4 years this year. In June, it'll be 4 years of doing it full time. I'd kind of thought I'd be more further along, to be honest. Like, you know, I'd published a lot of books in that time. Since I went to doing this full time, I published 8 books. That wasn't enough. 8 books in 3 years wasn't enough to even really get moving, to be honest. And it took that long to get one channel monetized. I've tried this one on and off the whole time as well. And my other channel, I pretty much know what I'm doing over there. I have my stuff that I post just there. And this is more of just whatever I want to talk about channel. A classic second channel thing. But, you know, even then, I had still kind of hoped, you know, having my Patreon figured out and all of this, like, it would be doing good by now. Maybe not fantastic, but, you know, a couple $100 a month. Oh, that would be a dream. And so I've struggled with all of it at different points, but the most recent one has been really struggling to like want to write. And I think just having, which I talked about before, of having my goal of like, I'm gonna do 33 books and then check in, and like I can't argue with myself until I hit that point. Like if I want to wallow and be like, oh my god, but is this what I should do? No. 33rd book, then you can think about it. When you're working on that 34th one, then we can check in. Till such time, just keep going. And also, I think having the pressure taken off of it's not like a thing of like the goal has to be like publish like 12 books this year, or you know, I have to publish this and this then, and what, like, it's not as hardcore of a goal anymore. It's just like when I get there to check in with my writing and just to keep going. And I think removing, like, ironically, for some people, having that 33 book would be like a huge monument to reach. To me, it really doesn't feel like that. Like, again, I read hundreds of books, probably read thousands at this point. And so writing to me isn't that difficult. And I am team that the more you write, the better you write. I'm not team make one book perfect. Like, I think there's no way, there's no amount of editing, no amount of drafts that could make one book the perfect book. I would rather just have a catalog of books that shows how my writing and my style has changed over the years and things I've learned and whatever. And my books just stand as a test of time of what I was doing at that point in my life. You know, the books I published even a couple years ago, I would never write that now, but I'm glad that I did it. Like, it's a snapshot of my own craft and my own thoughts. And so I think getting a little bit less intense about my writing and just being like, I'm just gonna work on it a little bit every day, and just not any pressure. Like, if I want to take my hour a day and just work on notes for another book, I can do that. To be honest, the one I'm currently writing is actually going pretty well. I pivoted, as per usual, and I picked a different topic, but I'm taking notes on the other one at the same time. Because I want to do, and it's going to be like 2 to 3 really dark books, like back to back to back. But I want to do, the working title is Dangers in Witchcraft, which is basically my warning label book. Because there are so many things I come across that it's like, oh my god, why? And I talk about it all the time on my channel, and I would love to have this book done to be like, no. And that's the point of that book, of like, hey, every beginner witch, read this, because it's like the mundane stuff that like ain't nobody talking about. Like, what is the proper way to put out a fire? Because you don't talk about that. And like the realistic things of, like, the chapter I just wrote today was on consent and looking up the different levels of like what does consent mean, and in witchcraft specifically, like being like, hey, we're gonna take the witchcraft hat off completely and we're just gonna talk about it in the 3D physical actual world where no, you shouldn't feed somebody something without their knowledge. That's messed up. And we're talking like things that have been inserted into bodies. There was one book that I read that talked about putting a date up your hoo-ha for like a week and then feeding that to a, like, either as an ex-lover or like a potential lover or something, to get them to come to you, which is like, if that man doesn't want you, don't do that, but also just don't do that. Toxic shock is a thing. You're gonna get that, and also it's so gross, probably gonna give him an infection or disease or something. And then there's other ones that it's like you're supposed to wear your underwear as like a girl mostly. I suppose guys could do it too, but typically it's aimed from female to wanting a male thing. And you're supposed to like masturbate and sweat and sleep in them, and then you take that nasty thing and then you're supposed to make like a hibiscus tea with it and then feed it to the person. And I'm like, that's so fucked up. Don't do that. Like, that is so messed up. That, like, in any other situation, that is like really what is wrong with you. Just because you're practicing magic doesn't give you a pass. Don't do that. And I have other chapters planned on like fire safety, and because like there's people who like will show their altars and like, this is fake obviously, right? But you would never have a bookshelf with books this close to a flame, leaves this close to a flame, and a board above the flame. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Like, the fire safety things, like there's even one today, I commented, they were like, look at my beautiful altar. I'm like, that's gorgeous. Also, you're stressing me. You have like 4 candles right here, and right here over a ledge thing is like a stack of, it looked like maybe towels or blankets or something. That's a fire hazard, dude. Odds are good, it would be fine, but also it could not be. Why take the risk? Like, again, dangers in witchcraft is like, just don't do that. Same with like ingesting essential oils. And then of course, you know, some other pseudo-y science things. And like, that book's going really well. And to be honest, my 1 hour a day writing typically works out to about a chapter a day. I'm not planning this to be a big book. To be honest, I'm so unbelievably over my big books that I'm like, it's probably gonna end up like maybe this big. Do I care? No, I don't. I actually like my smaller books now. I used to really want big books. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I like my small little books because like A, I love them when I'm reading because it's a quick read, and B, like, I just hate formatting and fighting files for big files. I'm over it. Small ones for the win. And of course, I'm sure I'll have some bigger ones eventually, but right now I'm in my small book era. And so, like, I like having this hour to work on it in the morning. I do it first thing pretty much. It's like the first work thing I do. So on like shower days, I will take my husband to work, come home, shower, and then immediately jump in to work. And I will take like, again, an hour, and I will write. And some days if I don't feel like writing, I'll work on notes. I'm working on notes right now for my Handling Curses book. The title's not as developed, but that's what it is. It's Handling Curses. And sometimes I feel like I like the more just get to the point titles. The ones where I've tried to have a little bit more fun with it, they don't sell, so maybe it's a title problem. I don't know. I just don't care. Like, that's the thing, is I'm at a place in my career where it's like, maybe books will be the thing that pays the bills. Maybe it's just a life goal, and if I make any money from it, cool deal. Like, I did apparently make a sale, so long as it stays, this month, which is cool. I checked just out of a whim, and over the past 90 days, I have sold 4 books. So there's something. And, you know, they are the ones that I hadn't sold, so I'm glad. I hope people actually like them. But I also, you know, it's like, is it a pity purchase? Probably. Do I care? Not really. And so I guess to wrap this up, the big thing that I wanted to talk about is having this hour in the morning, I think is helping the most, because I just have to get it done. And only 1 hour isn't bad. Of like, if I need to do edits, I can take an hour to edit. If I need to format, realistically, that might take longer than an hour, but I can make progress. And honestly, I think that's something that I'd say for like the weekend, where it's like, I need a full dedicated day to this. Like, I had thought about, but that's the thing, is it's like certain stages in work, especially with books, like I could see the urge to just put everything else aside and just hyper focus on get that thing done. And I don't want to do that, because then everything else falls apart and I don't want to miss those other goals. Like, I thought about this week, as of recording it, today's the 5th of January. I'm trying to get ahead on this channel because everything has to be ahead. And so, you know, I want to have a block of time where I was like, okay, Monday, gonna get the paperback version of my 5th witchcraft book done. And then I'm also, tomorrow on Tuesday, I'll do the next book. Like, I'll do the Death Journey, then I'll do Path of a Witch, and do all of them this week and get them all ordering. And then I'm like, you know, I don't need to do that, actually, because that would take the entire day. It's gonna put me in a horrible mood because I really actually hate doing it. And like, I don't need to. It's okay. Like, I can work on it later. I can do that like once a week, of like formatting Fridays, of like, I will get to it if I don't have other things planned. To have everything's planned, oh well. Like, they're not going anywhere. I can just work on it later. And for now, just on Monday through Thursdays, take an hour in the morning, work on whatever I need to do. To take notes. Currently, again, I'm mostly working on writing up these chapters, but I think I only have like maybe 14 chapters planned. So it's not going to take terribly long to get to that point. And then I can have that done and then pass it off to other people, pass it off to editors, and then go back to taking notes. Or if I'm getting bored with it, take notes for a minute. And then just kind of start getting to this place where my books are getting done on like a consistent basis. And realistically, again, I can write pretty quick. I live witchcraft books. Like, that's what I do 99% of the time. So like, it's not hard for me to do. And you know, I worry too, that's like one of those things, is like, I worry about like, are you gonna get accused of using AI? But I think my books are like weird enough that like, there's no way some generative AI came up with my chaos. Like, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Like, you can read the sentences in my weird way of organizing words that don't make sense, and half the time I have to fix them because they only make sense to me. It's like the most awkward jumble of words. Ain't no way AI could come up with that weirdness. Like, sometimes I read back and I'm like, that it works when you speak it out loud. It doesn't work if you type it. Because it's like, it's so many like places where you put a comma that's like really unnecessary, but also necessary because you need that pause of like the thought to like breathe and then continue with it. And you're like, this is just like a tangent within a sentence, within a, like so many, just, oh, there's no way AI could come up with my chaos. And again, I think, you know, there's so many things that like, there's no way AI would have come up with it, but there's always just that fear being a creative anymore, that you're like, I'm not doing that. But I feel like I've done this consistently enough that like, you should know it's me, and like, it's not a problem, and probably nobody even thinks about it or cares. It's just a me problem, but still. So I don't know. And then like, will this hour be enough? Maybe. That's the other thing, is like, sometimes I get in my head of like how soon I want books coming out, and then I like freak myself out because I'm like, oh my god, I only spent an hour. I need to do more. But like, also, I still need to read some books today. I still need to record a whole lot of videos today. And tomorrow I'll be editing like crazy. And again, reading. And so it's like, I really only have that little bit of time every day to give like an hour towards it. Plus again, all of the working out that I do, which I did today, because again, I'm recording on the 5th today. And you'll have seen the workout video on the 9th. And I did the upper body so far and some walking. And holy crap. And like, that's the thing, is like even now I did enough for that. And like, I feel like that's the thing, is this year is just the doing enough of like, eventually I'm trying to get my content, especially on the main channel, a little ahead, but also even this channel, trying to get them ahead and just chugging along on the other things of workouts, just the bare minimum. And with writing, the same thing. And yeah, so I feel like things are going well. Camera's overheating. So I will talk with you again in another other day, because I don't know, how do you say that? I upload every other day. So like, how would you end that? Like, I'll see you in the next other day. I don't know. I'll see you for the next vlog.